All right. Hello, guys. Long time no see. So it's been a while since my last McDonald's food review. It's been, at least a couple weeks. Um, and since then, that burger has long been discontinued. Still kind of rooting for it to come back, petitioning McDonald's and things like that. It's definitely the best thing they've come out with in a very long time. But in the meantime, I figured I would get back into food reviewing um, while we wait for them to bring back the smokehouse burger. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get started with reviewing a staple. It says it right here, the McChicken. So in the bag, I just got the McChicken by itself. So they give us plenty of napkins, which is good. Typically, I would get my burgers or McChickens with some honey mustard. So this is probably going to be a little bit less authentic of a review, just because I don't have my sauce of choice. Person to person, having your favorite sauce on your burger will make a huge impact on your overall liking of the food, obviously. But I think it's good that I didn't get it, just because I get more of an authentic kind of in-depth experience of the McChicken, getting a little bit intimate with the sandwich. But yeah. So presentation wise, it seems like, your standard McChicken. Yeah, no complaints appearance wise. It's got the lettuce hanging out, the McChicken. Pretty good sized McChicken. It has the mayo, of course, and the bun is nicely toasted. So something I want to start doing with my food reviews, I might kind of want to start documenting the overall experience. Going into the restaurant, ordering the food, cleanliness of the restaurant, kind of maybe even, meeting up with fans and going to restaurants and sharing our thoughts on the food together. And we can get, more reviews on more different food that way. But yeah, a fan meetup at a restaurant would also be a great experience. It'd be a good way to connect with the fans, the audience. And yeah, just kind of share the experience with some others. So without further ado, I'm gonna dive right into this sandwich and just kind of share my thoughts. So my immediate thought, before eating a McChicken, I used to think it would be kind of just like a big, chicken nugget kind of breading, but just on a sandwich. That is not the case. This is a completely different breading. It seems more like an actual chicken cutlet with like breading on it, if you know what I mean. The mayo complements it very well. The lettuce is almost unneeded and just kind of adds some fluff, maybe a little bit of texture, kind of hydrates the chicken a little bit. It's just kind of in the way. If they just had the mayo and the chicken and the bread, it would be phenomenal. There's just a little bit of stuff in the way. The chicken itself tastes better than your standard, chicken nugget. Yeah, let's go in for bite number 2. So something I want to point out is that McDonald's nailed the crispiness on the McChicken, hands down. There's not much more they could do to get a better, crunch when you bite into it without getting to be kind of, like an uncomfortable kind of crunchiness where you're sitting there chewing for a while to actually eat the food. And I'll just reiterate that the mayo is very good, complements very well. Other than that, kind of same thoughts going into bite number 2. There's like a little, I got the standard McChicken. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of other reviewers say like the spicy McChicken is the way to go. I don't know if I've ever tried a spicy McChicken. Not really my cup of tea. I do enjoy spicy food, but I just think the standard McChicken just is perfect the way it is. Yeah, let's go bite number 3. So we do still have, the crispiness, the mayo. Something I wish there was maybe like a little bit more sauce. That's kind of what I was saying at the beginning of the review. I usually get either the spicy mustard or the honey mustard to dip into it, or dip the McChicken in. But yeah, I can't help but to feel that it's becoming a little bit dry now that most of the mayo is kind of gone. I got most of it with the first couple of bites. But other than that, so as I was saying, the spicy McChicken, it's an option. Alright, so apologies, I had to make a little move. My phone stopped recording because my car got too hot. My phone overheated, so we lost the footage of me actually eating the final few bites of the McChicken. There wasn't too much different. The last few bites were a little bit underwhelming compared to the first few, just because you kind of get all the mayo and all the lettuce kind of out of the way early on. So the last few bites are a little bit disappointing. It could just be that, you're holding it, and so the chicken kind of naturally slides up towards the front of the sandwich, so you don't have much at the end. But other than that, so just going back to the point I was kind of hammering down before the phone overheated. The McChicken, so the spicy, it's obviously a little bit more spicy, but the breading on just like the standard McChicken by itself has some pepper built into the I don't know what you'd call it, the breading. So it has a little bit of spice built in, even with the standard. But yeah, I think overall it's a pretty solid sandwich. It's not my go-to when I go to McDonald's. But yeah, overall I give it maybe like a 7 if you're hungry. I don't often find myself, craving one unless I'm either starving or hungover or something like that, where you're just like dying to get a bite of food in you. They are good value for your good bang for your buck. There's nothing to complain about there in the cost department. So yeah, I would kind of settle it within like, I think 7 is kind of like a weird number because that's where a lot of reviews kind of place their food. So I would honestly put it more towards the 6 instead of the 7. But yeah, that's the McChicken review for the 2026 version. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys want me to review next, and I'll see you guys next time, foodie family.